to this channel. I'm really happy that you're here. It's C, I'm a picture book illustrator, and today is the very first tutorial on this channel. Thank you. It's about how I mix colored pencils, and I'm going to share you my own personal technique. Actually, this isn't a stiff and full of academic lessons, really, and it would be really useful for any artist, painter or illustrator, so stay tuned. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I mix colors using colored pencils, my own way, not the strict academic method. I start by laying down a first layer of color. For this demo, I've made 4 small character illustrations. Each one begins with a different base color, including green, orange, red, and blue. Then I build up the rest of colors using a limited and similar set of colored pencils on all 4 characters. The idea is to show how much the first layer, sorry for the sound, can affect the final results when you're mixing colors. It's a simple but still powerful technique I use often in my own illustrations. I'm starting with the green one. As you probably know, every color can have a specific psychological impact on your artwork. Green and blue are considered cool colors. They're great for creating sense of depth. They also carry emotional weight, especially green, which can feel calm and peaceful. So if your character is in a quiet and calm moment, you might not want to use bright, energetic colors like red and orange. Choosing the right base color can really shape the mood of your piece. The next step is adding the right colors. For example, if you want the portrait to look natural like human skin, you'll want to layer skin tones on top of your base. And when it comes to the hair, you can decide whether you want it to be blonde, brown, or anything else. It's totally up to you. Here I'm using a limited set of colored pencils, as I said, like I mentioned earlier. That's important because I want the results to be clear and accurate for this experiment. Keeping the palette small helps show how much the first layer really influenced the final look. Besides choosing the right colors, you might be wondering in what order I layer them. I usually think about a few things. First, contrast. I try to imagine where the light is coming from, and then I separate the light and shadow areas to make the drawing feel more real and three-dimensional. Also, I don't start with the small details or textures like patterns at this stage. If you add those too early, it can actually ruin the painting. It's important to build up the base layers first and then add the details later. Now in this tutorial, I'm not going into a lot of detail, and that's on purpose. These pieces are quite small, and this video is more about showing the color mixing process, not a full detailed portrait. But if you're interested in seeing more of my colored pencil techniques, I've shared related videos before. I'll add the link in the description below so you can check those out once you finish this one. It's completely normal to feel afraid of ruining your artwork, especially if you're still building experience. But that's okay. If you've got a commission or you're planning to make something that feels really important, like a masterpiece, and you feel unsure or confused about how to mix colors, here's what I recommend. Try making a smaller version first. A little test piece can help you practice, experiment, and figure things out without the pressure. Once you feel more confident, you can move on the final artwork with a clearer plan. Most colored pencil brands have their own system and structures. They often suggest specific way to use their products. My advice, don't blindly follow those rules. Of course, it's good to know what they're recommending, but you're not limited to it. You're totally allowed to step outside the lines and explore your own way of working. At the same time, understanding the structure can help you break the rules more effectively. Now let's talk a little bit about colored pencil brands, especially how their structure affects layering and blending. Let's start with Prismacolor Premier. These are super soft and wax-based. They give you a rich creamy color with barely any pressure, and they blend beautifully. But they also have a downside because they are so soft. They can build up too fast and create something called wax bloom, which is that cloudy layer on top that can ruin your details if you're not careful. The tip also breaks easily, especially when sharpening. So, if you're using Prismacolor, try to build your layers slowly and use a light hand. Next is Faber-Castell Polychromos, which are completely different. These are old base with a harder core. That means they don't feel as soft you draw. Then you're gonna be amazed by the power of layering. You can build up color slowly and precisely, and they don't get that waxy build-up. They are also super light fast and professional quality. So if your work will last a long time, the blending isn't as creamy as Prismacolor, but you get much more control and detail. And finally, Faber-Castell Classic. These are more of a student grade option. And actually in this video I'm using this brand, and they are harder and less pigmented, so the layering is a bit limited and the colors don't blend as easily. But they are affordable and great if you're just practicing or doing some color studies. Just keep in mind, they're not meant for detailed, finished illustrations or anything where long-term color quality matters. So to wrap it up, Prismacolor is great for soft blends and expressive work, but it needs a gentle hand. Polychromos is all about control, layering, and long-lasting results. And Classic is a good budget-friendly option for beginners or practice sessions. No matter what brand you're using, just get to know how your pencils behave. There are no fixed rules. You can always test, adjust, and mix things to match your own style. Tip number 1 is be mindful of color harmony. I mean, if you're using a strong color like red or any other specific one in one part of your drawing, try repeating it just a little in other areas too. This helps guide the viewer's eye around the artwork and makes the whole piece feel more connected. And tip number 2 is don't press too hard and too soon. Start with light layers. If you press too hard at the beginning, the paper's texture gets crushed and it'll be harder to add more color on top. And the next tip is being careful with black pencil. Using too much black can dull the brightness of your colors and make your artwork look flat. Instead, try mixing complementary colors to create darker shades like green with red, yellow with purple, or orange with blue. These combinations give you rich deep shadows without losing color vibrancy. And if you do use black, keep it limited to just a few specific spots for maximum impact. And one last thing to keep in mind is that color pencils can be tricky when it comes to fixing mistakes. If you slip up or don't like something, it's really hard to erase or correct it thoroughly. That's why it's important to work patiently, build up your layers slowly, and be okay with imperfections as part of the process. I hope you enjoyed this video and pick up some useful tips. Like I mentioned, this is the very first tutorial on this channel and I'm excited to add it to my playlist. I also have lots of other videos about art, becoming an artist, finding inspiration, beating art block, and so much more. I'd be really happy if you hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below to let me know what you thought. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. See you soon.